Hey newbies, Neeraja Anand here. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are solving mental ability questions from KS 2020 question paper. The question that we are solving now is from time, speed and distance. A very easy question. Let's read the question now. A meeting is scheduled at 11 am and a person P, who is at the distance of 100 km from the meeting place, has to attend. If P starts at 9:45 am in his car, which moves with a speed of 60 km per hour, then P is late to the meeting by how many minutes? Easy question, right? Okay. See, first step, let's find how much time P has. Okay. 9:45 am to 11 am. 1 hour 15 minutes, right? Let's take it as 60 minutes plus 15 minutes. That means total he has 75 minutes. Am I clear? What is the meaning of this? He has 75 minutes to reach that point. Okay, now let's find out how many minutes he need with this speed. His car speed is 60 km per hour, right? Let's find the time, okay? From his place to the meeting place, how much distance is there? 100 km and his car speed is 60 km per hour. Let's find the time. Time is equal to distance by speed. Distance is 100 km and the car speed is 60 km per hour. That means he takes 10/6 hours to reach that point. Let's convert this value to minutes. Okay, how do we convert it? Into 60. Simple. 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, right? Yeah. Then he takes 100 minutes to reach that point. But he has only 75 minutes, right? That means he'll be late by 25 minutes. Simple. 100 minus 75. 25 minutes. That's it. Hope this is clear. Newbies, next question is from trains concept. This is subtopic of time, speed and distance. The question is, two trains running in opposite direction cross a man standing on the platform in 27 seconds and 17 seconds respectively. They cross each other in 23 seconds. The ratio of their speeds is... It's a very simple question. To understand this properly, you have to watch a video. In the playlist, you will get a video with the SSC name. There I have explained basics of this trains problems. Okay, just watch the videos, you will get the basic. Okay, question is very simple. A man is standing on the platform. One train is coming from this direction, takes 27 seconds to cross this man. Another train which is coming from this direction takes 17 seconds to cross this man. Am I clear? See the last information, they cross each other in 23 seconds. These two trains takes 23 seconds to cross each other. Simple. Newbies, to solve this question, you have to use two formulas. One is time taken by the train to cross the man. Another one is time taken by the train to cross the another train. Okay. Let's take the first formula. Time taken by the train to cross the standing man. Length of the train divided by speed of the train. Okay. Since the question is to find the ratio of the speeds, you have to keep that variable. So let's take in this way. Length of the train is equal to speed of the train into time taken to cross the man. Okay. Length of the train 1 is equal to speed of the train 1 into, it is taking 27 seconds. Okay. Length of the train 2 is equal to speed of the train 2 into, it is taking 17 seconds. Am I clear? Yes. Now, let's use the last information. They cross each other in 23 seconds. For this, you have to use the formula time taken by the train to cross another train. Okay. The formula is time taken to cross is equal to length of the train 1 plus length of the train 2 divided by speed of the train 1 plus speed of the train 2. Okay. See, they are taking 23 seconds to cross each other. We know lengths in terms of speeds. Let's replace it. Speed of the train 1 into 27 plus speed of the train 2 into 17 divided by speed of the train 1 plus speed of the train 2. Correct? No? See the variables? Speed variable, right? That is what we need here. Okay, let's send this denominator to LHS. We get 23 into speed of the train 1 plus 23 into speed of the train 2 is equal to 27 into speed of the train 1 plus 17 into speed of the train 2. Simplify this equation by sending the same variables one side. See, I'll send this to RHS. We get 27 minus 23, 4 into speed of the train 1, and now I'm sending this to LHS. We get 23 minus 7, 6 into speed of the train 2. Then asking for the ratio, speed of the train 1 divided by speed of the train 2 is equal to 6 by 4. Reduce this further. Finally, we get 3 by 2. 3 by 2 means 3 is to 2, right? Simple. B is the answer. Am I clear, everybody? I know this looks very lengthy method. Yes, it is. Okay, you can solve this question in 1 minute or in 10 seconds. Whatever the technique you have learned just now, it is 1 minute method. Okay, there is another method using which you can solve this question, the same question in 10 seconds. Let's learn it now. To start the technique, I'll take that last equation. 23 is equal to 27 into speed of the train 1 plus 17 into speed of the train 2 divided by speed of the train 1 plus speed of the train 2. See, just compare these two. Both are similar, right? A1, N1, here 27 into speed of the train 1, A2, N2, here 17 into speed of the train 2, N1 plus N2, speed of the train 1 plus speed of the train 2, and this is AR. Correct? No? If you get the equation in this format, easiest method is use the alligation method. Here the A1 value is 27 and the A2 value is 17, AR value is 23. Okay, here this N1, N2 is there, no? That gives you the speed ratio. Simple. To get N1 and N2, just subtract these two. 27 minus 23, we get 4. Yes. Then subtract like this. 23 minus 27, we get 6. That's it. 6 is to 4 is exactly equal to 3 is to 2, right? See, we got the answer. This simple it is. Okay, so we'll continue. Newbies, next question is from percentage topic. In an examination, it is required to get 36% of the maximum marks to pass. A student gets 113 marks and is declared failed by 85 marks. The maximum marks is, again it's a simple question. They have given passing percentage. It is 36%. Okay. See, even after getting 113 marks, the student is declared failed by 85 marks. What is the meaning of this? Passing marks is 113 plus 85. Very simple. See, if the student had got 85 marks extra, he would have passed. Correct? No. That means the passing marks is 198. After getting these two, it is very simple. If 36% value is 198, what is 100%? This gives you the maximum marks. What is the maximum marks? Total marks. Both are same. Okay. Total marks is equal to 198 into 100 divided by 36. Let's use 18 to reduce this. 18 2s are, 18 1s are 1s are, 2 1s are 250s are. What is the product? 550. 550 is the maximum marks. I hope this is clear. Next question is, a student who scored 30% marks in the first paper of physics out of 180 marks has to get an overall score of at least 50% in 2 papers. The second paper is of 150 marks. The percentage of marks he should score in the second paper to get the overall average score is. Newbies, another very easy question. They are telling the student scored 30% in the first paper. To get overall 50%. As a final result, he should get 50%. To get that result, how much percentage he has to score in the second paper? Simple question. Let's find how much the student has scored in the first paper. First paper is for 180 marks. 30% he has scored. That means 10% is 18. 30% in the sense 54. Okay, 18 3s are 54, right? So as of now, the student score is 54. Okay, then let's find the overall marks now. Overall marks is equal to 180 plus 150, that is 320. What is given in the question? The student should score 50% as the final score. Correct? No. 50% of the total marks is 50% in the sense half of it. That means the student's final score is 165 marks. Out of this, 54 marks is already there. That means remaining 111 marks the student has to score from the second paper. That simple it is. Okay. So the student has to score 111 marks out of this 150 marks. Newbies, how to convert this to percentage? Very simple. Just multiply this fraction with 100. Am I clear? Let's reduce this. I'll cancel 2 zeros. 5 3s are, 5 2s are, and this one 3 1s are, 3 3s are 9. We get 21 here. 3 7s are. Okay, 37 into 2, we get 74%. Simple. Meaning is, to get overall 50%, the student has to score 74% in the second paper. Am I clear? So the answer is option C. Easy, right? So Bob, we'll continue. Newbies, this question is from LCM HCF. If the product of two numbers is 47,915 and their HCF is 37, then their sum is. To solve this question, what you have to do is, we have to take the numbers in terms of HCF. See, first number 37 into A, second number 37 into B, where A and B are co-prime numbers. Am I clear? Co-prime numbers are the numbers where the HCF is 1. See, 15 and 14. These two numbers are not divisible by any other number, right? Except 1. 6, 3 and 7. These three numbers are co-prime numbers. 12 and 13. Co-prime numbers. Am I clear? Okay. Now, what they are telling here is the product of these two numbers. That means 37A and 37B. If we take the product, the value is 47,915. Let's find A into B now. A into B is equal to 47,915 divided by 37 into 37. See here, we have prime number as a divisor. So be very careful. Let's list the 37 tables now. 37 ones are 37, 37 twos are 74, 3s are 111, 4s are 148, 5s are 185 and 6 are 222. Just add 37, that's it, okay? 259, 296, 333, 370. Okay, let's simplify this by dividing the value by 37. First, I'll take 37 ones are 37. 10 is the remainder, 9 comes down, then 37 twos are 74, okay, what's the remainder? 35 is the remainder, 1 comes down, then 37 nines are 333, okay, what's the remainder? 18 is the remainder, 5 comes down, it's the tables, right? 185, that means A 5s are, yes, 185. Okay, we got the 0 remainder. That means this is 37 ones are and 37 ones are, 2s are, 9s are, 5s are. Am I clear? And we have one more 37 here. Let's use it to divide the quotient. Okay, 37 3s are 111. We get the remainder 18 and 5 comes down. 5s are 185. Okay. Finally, we got the product as 35. That means A into B is equal to 35. After this, you have to select two numbers whose product should be 35 and the number should be co-prime numbers. See, 1 and 35. It is giving us a product 35 and both 1 and 35, these two are co-prime numbers. Correct? No? Okay, one more pair, 5 and 7. These two are valid pairs. Okay, but what you have to remember is these two are not N1 and N2. These two are just A and B. Okay, to get that N1 and N2, see here, you have to multiply this A and B with 37. Let's take the first possibility. N1 is 37 into 1. N2 is 37 into 35. Okay. Second possibility is N1 is 37 into 7 and N2 is 37 into 5. Am I clear, everybody? Now the question is to take sum of the numbers, correct? No, check the options. All values are 3-digit numbers, correct? Then We can remove this case. Why, ma'am? Very simple. See, product of these two is greater than 3-digit number, right? That's the reason. Then we can take this possibility as the correct answer for this question. Both are correct because of the option we are selecting the second case. Now, N1 value is 37 into 7, 259. N2 value is 37 into 5, 185. What is the summation? 444. That's it. Option B is the answer for this question. I hope this is clear. We'll continue. Anyways, next question is from clock's topic. At what time between 3 to 4 o'clock will the hands of a watch point in opposite direction? Point in opposite direction in the sense the angle between the needles should be 180 degree. Okay, like this. Difference between the needles should be 180 degree. Okay, let's start with the initial timing. Initial timing is 3 o'clock. Okay, place the needle to 3 o'clock. Now, to solve this question, we have to use relative speed concept. See, time is equal to distance by relative speed. Let's calculate the relative speed now. To get the relative speed, first we need to get speed of the hour hand and the speed of the minute hand. Okay, let's take it. Every minute, hour hand covers 1 by 2 degree. 1 by 2 degree per minute. Okay, minute hand covers 6 degree per minute. Am I clear? When it comes to relative speed concept, if both the objects move in the same direction, we have to take the difference of the speeds. That gives you the relative speed. Okay? Relative speed of the needles is 6 minus 1 by 2, 11 by 2. Very simple. I'll take that 11 by 2 to the denominator. Okay? To get the distance, very simple. Just check how much degree the minute hand should rotate to come to straight line. Okay? Don't move the hour hand. Keep the hour hand there itself. Just check the minute hand. Okay? To come to straight line, the minute hand should be here. Correct? No? What is this journey? How much degree it is? 90, 180, 270. Correct? No? The minute hand has to cover 270 degrees. Yes. That is what our distance. Very simple. Anyways, denominator is always 11 by 2 because it's a relative speed. For the numerator, you have to check the distance covered by the minute hand in terms of degrees. Okay. See, minute hand has to come to this point to come to the straight line. Correct? No. What is this journey? This is 270. So, the numerator value is 270. Simplify this and get the answer. Simple. 540 divided by 11. Take 540, divide this value by 11. 4s are 44. We get 10 as a reminder. Send this 0 down. Okay, we get 100. 9s are 99. What is the final reminder? 1. So the final answer is 49, 1 by 11 minutes. See, you can ask me, the minute hand is facing 45th minute. Why it is coming as 49, 1 by 11 minutes? Correct, right? Think of this, everybody. Why? Because, see, if the minute hand comes here, what is the meaning of this? 45 minutes are done. Okay, if 45 minutes are done, where will be the hour hand? Somewhere here, right? Then think where that straight line should happen. Not here, right? Somewhere here. That's why we are getting this answer. 49, 1 by 11 minutes. Near to 50th minute, the straight line happens. Not at 45th minute. Am I clear? You guys don't think all this thing. Just keep the hour hand constant, okay? And check on the minute hand movement. 11 by 2 will give you the proper answer. Simple technique. I hope you have understood the technique. So the answer is option A. Newbies, a very simple simplification question. Let's read the question. A 2-digit number is such that the product of its digits is 14. When 45 is added to this number, the digits interchange their position. What is that number? Interchanging in the sense, see, 12 plus 9, 21. See the numbers? Digits got interchanged, right? Maybe to solve this question, no need of any equations. Just use the options directly, okay? First condition is, product of the digits should be 14. Check it. Here we get 20. 5 4s are 20. Wrong option. Then 2 7s are 14. Yes, can be the right answer. Then 3 6 are 18. Wrong option. And the last option is 7 2s are 14. Okay, these two are valid options as of now because this satisfies the first condition. Okay, then next condition is you have to add 45 to these two numbers. Okay, After adding 45, the digits should interchange their position. It is very simple. This is wrong option. Why? See, the initial value is 72. If you add 45, will it turns to 27? Is it possible? Then this is the wrong option. So, we can take option B as the answer for this question. Very easy question. No need of any equations. Just use the options and answer it. Okay. Let's move to the next question now. Nivi's last question of the video. 36 vehicles are parked in a parking area in a single row. After the first car, there is one scooter. After the second car, there are two scooters and so on. Work out the number of scooters in the second half of the row. Second half of the row in the sense, see 36 vehicles are there. So first half 18 vehicles will be there. In the second half 18 vehicles will be there. Okay. Question is very simple. Just we have to find out of this 18 vehicles how many scooters are there. Am I clear? Two methods are there. Picturization method. Another one is equation method. Since the vehicles count is less, you can easily picturize it and answer this question. Okay. First, we'll solve by using picturization method. After the first car, one scooter is there. After the second car, two scooters are there. That means, see, I'll place the first car here. After this car, one scooter should come. Then, second car, two scooters. Third car, three scooters. Okay. Fourth car, four scooters. Fifth car, five scooters. Okay, sixth car, see car 6. After the sixth car, 6 scooters should come. Then seventh car, after this 7 scooters should come. Then at last we have 8th car. Am I clear? They're asking you to find how many scooters are there in the second half. Second half in the sense, see 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Okay, we get the second half here. Am I clear? Here this side 18 vehicles are there and this side 18 vehicles are there. The question is to find how many scooters are there. Let's count it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. Or else see 18 minus number of cars. 1, 2, 3. 3 cars are there. Left out are 15 vehicles. That means 15 scooters are there. Answer is 15. Since the vehicle count is less, picturizing this and getting the answer is very simple. What if they give more vehicles? More than 100 vehicles. We can't do in the same way, right? We need equation method for this. Let's learn the equation method. Okay. As the basic for the equation method, let's check the car positions. Okay. Car 1 is at first place. Car 2, third place. Car 3, 6th place. Car 4, 10th place. Okay. Car 5, 15th place. Car 6, 21st place. Car 7, 28th place. Okay. Car 8 is at 36th place. Am I clear? Now, see, out of this 18 vehicles, you have to find how many cars are there. Okay. Just subtract that count from 18 vehicles. Left out will be scooters. I'm going to use this logic to answer this question. Okay. It is very simple to find car's position without using this diagrammatic way. Let me show you that. I'll take car 1. Along with car 1, one scooter should be there. How many vehicles are there? 2 vehicles. That means pakka third vehicle is car 2. See the position of car 2? Third position, right? Okay, let me take 2 cars now. Along with car 1, one scooter should come. Along with car 2, 2 scooters should come. How many vehicles are there? 5 vehicles are there. That means 6th vehicle, pakka it is car 3. See here, car 3 is at 6th place. If you continue like this, to find the position of car 4, you have to take 3 cars. Okay, car 1, 1 scooter, car 2, 2 scooters, car 3, 3 scooters. How many vehicles are there? Check it. 9 vehicles are there. That means 10th vehicle is pakka car 4. Very simple. Instead of using this picturization method, you can get the same thing using equation method. Okay. Let me show you that. Let's take first car. Okay. Along with this car, one scooter should come. How many vehicles are there? 2 vehicles. That means third vehicle is car 2. Okay. Let's take 2 cars now. Along with this 2 cars, one scooter. One scooter is with car 1 and 2 scooters are with car 2. Correct? How many scooters then? 3 scooters. Total how many vehicles? 3 plus 2, 5 vehicles. That means 6th vehicle is Pakka car 3. That's it. Let's take 3 cars. Along with first car, we get 1 scooter. Along with second car, we get 2 scooters. Along with third car, we get 3 scooters. Total how many scooters? 6 scooters. Count how many vehicles are there. Take the sum now. 6 plus 3, 9. 9 vehicles are there. That means 10th vehicle is Pakka car 4. This simple it is. If I take 10 cars, for this what we have to do? We have to take 1 plus, 2 plus, 3 plus up to 10, right? Everybody, if you add this manually, it takes time. Than adding this manually, we can use the formula. What is the best formula I can use for this? Think. All are natural numbers, right? I can use sum of natural numbers formula. N into n plus 1 divided by 2. Am I clear? 10 numbers are there. 10 into 11 divided by 2. Sum is 55. What is the meaning of this? 55 scooters are there. That means how many vehicles? 65 vehicles. Can you tell me what is 66th vehicle? 66th vehicle is car 11. This simple it is. I hope you got the technique. Now, total vehicles are just 36. Correct? No. That's why no need to go till 65 vehicles, 66 vehicles. No. Okay. Let's reduce the car count. Instead of taking 10 cars, I'll take 7 cars. Okay, 7 cars in the sense, how many scooters are there? What do you have to do? 1 plus 2 plus up to 7, right? Instead of adding it manually, you can take it as 7 into 8 divided by 2. That means 28 scooters are there. Total how many vehicles? 35 vehicles. That means 36th vehicle is Pakka car 8. See here? 36th vehicle is car 8. This is how you can reach the last vehicle. Am I clear, everybody? Okay. Now, to solve this question, what is the important thing I have to check? I have to check how many cars are there in the second half. So, correct? No. I got to know car 8 comes in the second half. Correct? After this, you need to check how many more cars are there. For this, what you have to do is just go for any middle values. Okay, I'll take 4 cars. Okay, 4 cars in the sense how many scooters? 4 into 5 divided by 2. I'll get 10 scooters. That means 14 vehicles are there. What is the meaning of this? 15th vehicle is car 5. That's it. Where this 15th vehicle comes? Second half or first half? First half, right? First half, that to ending, almost ending. Am I clear? The first half ends at 18th vehicle. Okay, 15th vehicle is car 5. Then, where you can expect that car 6 and car 7? Obviously in the second half. Correct? No? Can we come to this conclusion now? In the second half, we get car 6, car 7, car 8. Very simple. So, out of 18 vehicles, 3 cars are there. Then, left out 15 vehicles are scooters. This is the way to answer this question. I hope this is clear. Newbies, here I have displayed reasoning questions of this case 2020 paper. Try this by your own. You will get the answer. All questions are very simple. I hope all the questions that we have solved in this video are clear. If you have any doubt, please do comment it. Thank you.